All right, so here we go with our discussion on heat-related emergencies, and I want you guys to think a little bit about your environment, what's coming up like this summer, and kind of how that impacts. And it might not impact you quite as much, but your parents, your grandparents, your younger siblings, those kind of things, you got to keep an eye out for this. So there's three levels of heat emergency. The first one is called heat cramps. This really isn't that much of an emergency, but it's a cramp from dehydration. The second one is heat exhaustion, and this is like an absolute fatigue point, lots of sweat, lots of body heat, all those things. And the third one is what we call heat stroke. And this is very dangerous. This is a medical help needed type thing. And the way that I like to say it is someone that's suffering from heat stroke has sweated out, which means they're not sweating anymore because they got nothing left. So their body is so dehydrated that it gets really, really dangerous. Let's take a look at this Red Cross piece.
Heat-related illnesses are caused by overexposure to heat and the loss of fluids and electrolytes. In order from least to most severe, the heat-related illnesses are heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. Heat cramps, which usually affect the muscles of the legs and abdomen, are caused by the loss of fluid and electrolytes due to sweating. Heat cramps are often the first sign that the body is having trouble with the heat. If not addressed, heat cramps can turn into heat exhaustion or heat stroke. To give care for heat cramps, help the person move to a cool place and sip a drink containing electrolytes and carbohydrates. A commercial sports drink is best, but if that is not available, you can give coconut water or milk, or if these are not available, water. Lightly stretch and massage the muscle. When the cramps stop, the person usually can resume activity. Encourage the person to drink fluids and stay hydrated, and watch the person carefully for additional signs or symptoms of heat-related illness. Heat exhaustion occurs when fluids lost through sweating are not replaced. The person's skin will be cool and moist, and either pale, ashen, or flushed. The person may complain of a headache, nausea, dizziness, and weakness. To give care, move the person to a cooler environment with circulating air. Loosen or remove as much of the person's clothing as possible. Cool the person's body by applying cool, wet cloths or spraying the person with cool water. Fanning the person may also help. If the person is responsive and able to swallow, give the person a cool drink. Remember, the fluids to offer in order of effectiveness are a commercial sports drink, coconut water or milk, or water. Encourage the person to take small sips rather than gulping the drink down quickly. If the person's condition does not improve or the person is unable to take fluids, has a change in level of responsiveness, or vomits, call 911 or the designated emergency number. The person should not resume activity for several hours after all signs and symptoms have been resolved and the person is adequately rehydrated. Heat stroke is life-threatening. The person will have mental status changes, such as confusion or loss of consciousness, and may have trouble seeing. The person may vomit or have a seizure. The person's skin will be hot to the touch. It may be wet or dry and appear red or pale. The person's breathing may be rapid and shallow, and the heartbeat may be rapid and weak. Call 911 or the designated emergency number immediately and take steps to rapidly cool the body. Immerse the person up to his or her neck in cold water if you can do this safely. Alternatively, place ice water-soaked towels over the person's entire body, rotating the towels frequently. If bags of ice are available, place these on the person's body over the towels. Apply rapid cooling methods for 20 minutes or until the person's condition improves or EMS personnel arrive.
All right, so you can see the severity increase in these. And you guys probably, if you are into any sort of athletics of any sort, probably have had a heat cramp or a cramp before. The exhaustion and stroke is something that you probably maybe wouldn't have gotten to yet unless you've been really overexerted. So I know I've got some friends that are in the farming world. They tend to overexert sometimes. They're in barns, they're in tight spaces, they're out underneath the sun. Those are big. If you are into roofing, construction, those kind of things, or if you're just a runner or an outside exerciser, you might have this. So it's kind of a rundown on the three heat-related illnesses that we're going to study. Peace out, buds.